Scharm Scheuerman. Welcome to the Metrodome in beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota for the traditional battles for Floyd of Rosedale. The Iowa Hawkeyes going against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And Scharm, the big story this week, injuries.
Injuries in general. Hayden Fry alluded to this at his press conference. He's concerned about injuries. Minnesota specifically is hurting. They've lost a number of starters, but don't worry about the Gophers. They'll be ready to play against the Hawkeyes, believe me.
The Iowa Hawkeyes and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Kickoff coming up right after these words. And we're underway from the Metrodome. And Roby sends it back to about the 2-yard line. And Terry Glenn returns it, hurdling players out to the 32-yard line. So the Golden Gophers will start on offense. Mike Hohensee will be their quarterback. Valdez Baylor, who is normally a backup, will start at the #1 tailback spot. Alan Reed, a fine receiver at the fullback spot, and a look at the wideouts, Farrell, McMullen, and Curtis. So 1st and 10, Minnesota. We're underway in the battle for Floyd of Rosedale. Hohensee, the quarterback for the Minnesota Gophers. And the handoff goes to Reed. He'll try the left side. Larry Station, the fine freshman out of Omaha, Nebraska, makes the tackle for the Iowa Hawkeyes. He injured himself in practice. He is out. Hohensee, first pass attempt of the ball game. He completes it to Baylor. Very close to a Minnesota first down. Keith Hunter starting in place of Devon Mitchell at the left corner spot. First pass attempt of the ball game. Hohensee, an excellent quarterback. And the handoff will go to Valdez Baylor. He'll try the inside, gain about 2 or 3. There's a fumble, but after the whistle, Dave Strobel making the tackle. So the fumble recovery goes for naught for Dave Brown to find split back for Hohensee, who will fade back and run right into the waiting arms of David Strobel. Strobel fought off a blocker and sacked Hohensee for a big loss way back at the 33-yard line. A loss of 15 yards on the play. 3rd and 20. Hohensee fades back. Being rushed by Wenke. Dumps it off to Valdez Baylor. And Baylor is caught for a loss. Mark Bortz is there, along with Dave Strobel. A loss of 3 on the play.
And let's give Larry Station some credit there. He smelled that.
And in to do the punting for the Minnesota Gophers, Paul Blanchard, a junior out of Minnetonka, standing back at about the 17, and he gets off a great punt. It'll send Ron Hawley back inside the 10, and it will be down at the 2-yard line. A 67-yard punt by Paul Blanchard. So the Hawkeyes begin at the 2.5-yard line. 1st and 10. Chuck Long is the quarterback. Behind him, Norm Granger, the fullback, and Eddie Phillips is the tailback. 11:35 left to play here in the first quarter, and the handoff goes straight ahead to Granger. He'll get up to the 5 or 6-yard line and is pushed back literally out of the end zone by Todd Peterson. This is a good look at the wideout. The handoff this time to Phillips. He'll try the inside. Very close to the first down, up near the 12-yard line. The tackle made by Peter Nassarian, number 32, the weak side linebacker in there for the Gophers. A yard for Long and crew. And it will go to Phillips. He has the first down across the 15-yard line, where Phil Sutton from his quarterback slot makes the tackle. 1st and 10, Iowa. And there's a look at the linebackers and secondary men for the Gophers. 1st and 10, Iowa, out of the I. And the handoff straight ahead again to Phillips. Todd Peterson making the tackle for Minnesota after a gain of about 2 or 3. They'll mark it at the 18-yard line. So Sherman from the Metrodome in Minnesota. The Gophers changed their defensive front alignment. And it's Phillips right there where the Gophers were trying to plug up a hole for a gain of about 5 up to the 24-yard line. Peterson making the tackle again. But the Hawkeyes continued to test the middle at that defensive front. We were alluding to the fact earlier that the Minnesota Gophers have been snake bitten since the Illinois game. They led Illinois. They were unbeaten at the time. They led Illinois 24-20, and they were burned by an 80-yard scoring play by Tony Eason on the first play of the fourth quarter. Since that, they've had all sorts of problems on defense.
The Hawks have a double tight end, probably will run.
And it's Phillips for the first down across the 30-yard line. Joe, maybe they'll go to that later. Granger and Phillips again the setback. This time they'll try the near side. Phillips gets outside across the 40-yard line, knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Gary Glenn does the damage for the Minnesota defense, but another Iowa Hawkeye first down.
Up a little bit.
And this time it's Granger trying it up the middle. Another one of those basic plays that you were alluding to, Scharm. This time they don't gain a lot with it, only about a yard or so. Unofficial
defense by Minnesota. Everyone's up on the line of scrimmage. Now they're
going to drop off just a little bit now. Phillips. Look at his leg drive, but he's getting pushed back this time. The Jerry Gophers. Iowa out of the shotgun. Love Jordan in motion to the far side. Long sets up the screen to the right side. Penalty marker is down. And so is Norm Granger in Minnesota territory at the 48-yard line. This is a confidence builder either side. Remember that Minnesota's defense needs to build its confidence. So Hayden Fry is going to give them this opportunity right now. Phillips up the middle. No siree. Carl Mecklenburg stops Phillips after a gain of 1. That might just be what the Gophers need. And we are scoreless with 6:12 left in the first quarter. We'll be back. First and 10 Minnesota as the Minnesota defense gets the ball back. And Hohensy's airing it out. And completes it Dwayne McMullen, the third leading receiver in the Big Ten down at the 13-yard line. Dwayne McMullen just beat his man on a fly pattern after Hohensy gave the pump fake. And McMullen with a big Minnesota first down at the 13-yard line.
Bobby Stoops was in very good shape in double coverage, and he turned the wrong way. He thought the pattern instead of a flag.
Back to live action, Valdez Baylor inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. Bobby Stoops, along with several other white-shirted Iowa Hawkeyes on the far side. Hohensy checking off, I formation. And it's Baylor, and he fumbles the football. Mad scramble for it. Who's got it? Minnesota has the ball. You could see Dave Brown reacting. He knew that Iowa had a chance, but Minnesota, who has had a tendency of self-destructing when they get down this...
Injured out 3 games, came limping off the field. Another offensive lineman hurt for Minnesota.
So it's 3rd down and 5, and Minnesota keeps the football. Hohensy rolls. He's in trouble. He's looking. Incomplete pass in the end zone. Intended for Lonnie Farrow.
Very well and still reacting out to the outside. He's calling the defensive signals. Minnesota going for a field goal.
And it's James Gallery who almost single-handedly beat the Iowa Hawkeyes last year in Iowa City with 4 field goals. Gallery into the ball game with a 25-yard attempt on 4th and 5. And it's good. And Minnesota on the scoreboard. They lead the Iowa Hawkeyes 3-0. We'll be back with more from the first quarter. Gallery's kickoff. Clean out of the back of the end zone. And so the Iowa Hawkeyes will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing 3-0. Any injuries. 1st and 10 Iowa. Chuck Long out of the shotgun. And off to Eddie Phillips. And Phillips across the 20 up to about the 23-yard line. And back into the shotgun again. Long flank by Granger and Phillips. This time they'll try it with Phillips. Norm Granger, who runs right into Carl Mecklenburg and somehow got out of his grasp. Long in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 16-yard line. Ivan Zuber, playing in place of the injured Anthony Davis, gets the first sack for the Minnesota Gophers.
Let's watch Zuber fight off the block. Let's see if we can see him as Long starts to go. He did fight off the block. The freshman was the outstanding ball player in the state of Minnesota, a big prize in recruiting for Minnesota last year.
Placed by Zuber, and Zuber gets the first quarterback sack. 4th and 12, Reggie Roby. Look at this baby. 1:57 left to play here in the first period. The Gophers lead it by a score of 3-0. Hogue rolling to the far side. Has a man out there. It's McMullen. Just shy of the first down on that play, so it's down to 1:51 left. Second down, a short one. And they'll give it to the fullback, Reed, who fumbles the football. And whistles are blowing all over the place. It looked like Reed left the football in the backfield. But whistles were blowing all over the place. We'll have to sort this one out. And it's the Gophers football.
Bob, do you think that...
So a 3rd and 1 situation. Let's see if they try the same play up the middle. And penalty markers all over the place. The Gophers will get assessed 5 yards on that play. The Hogue puts Reed into the slot on the right side. Baylor blocking for him. He has McMullen out there. First down, Minnesota at the 46-yard line. Dwayne McMullen with another reception. In 10, Minnesota. And Hogue somehow gets away. Somehow got away from Clay Uhlenhake. And somehow he completes that pass to Mike Curtis's big tight end. What a job there by Hogue.
The only...
And he fumbles the snap, and now he's in trouble. This time, Uhlenhake says, "You're not going anywhere." And Uhlenhake
tonight.
Under 10 seconds to play here in the first period. Hogue fades. And he has his man out there complete to Curtis at the 41-yard line. That will be enough for a Minnesota first down.
Minnesota.
Hogue 6 of 7, 79 yards unofficially here in the first period. 2 seconds remain. And it's Baylor across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Dave Brown was the first Hawkeye to make contact. And that should be the final play of the first quarter. A gain of 4. Controversial fumble near the end of the first period. It looked like Reed fumbled the football. Remember, the officials were blowing the whistles on the far side. And so Minnesota kept the football. Second down and 6 as we start the second quarter. Flags are down. And Reed has the football after a gain of about 4 or 5. But where that flag was thrown, you might suspect holding. And that's the preliminary indication against Minnesota. 14:44 left to play here in the second quarter. 3-0 Minnesota. Hogue. And he's got McMullen again. Hunter knocks McMullen out of bounds. Gain of... So how about this? A field goal situation, and along with that, 55 yards for Gallery. And it is blocked. And it is blocked. And Iowa's just going to let it roll now. So the Iowa defense, thanks to a big drop there by Lonnie Farrow, stops the Minnesota Gophers scoring drive. It's 3-0 Minnesota over Iowa. We'll be right back. Iowa's just out of the shotgun, back into the I formation. This is Phillips. Swift to the far side. And he has the Iowa first down up near midfield. And the Hawks shift into the I again. First and 10. They've been moving the ball very well on the ground. This is Owen Gill. Brought down by Nigerian. But 13:25 left to play before half now. Minnesota leads it 3-0. Gill, sweep to the left side. He gets outside. He has the first down across the 40 to the 38. Terry Glenn came up to make the tackle. Phillips now. Chuck Long with a 1st and 10 for his Hawkeyes. And it's Phillips inside. Another Iowa first down. Wittes and Glenn making the stops, but way deep in the secondary. A gain of 11 for Phillips. Iowa contingent here. Nearly 20,000 Iowa fans. And this time they stack them up. Split back. Love Jordan to the far side. Mortz to the near side. Long. Looking. Intercepted. Intercepted. Todd Peterson stepped in front of Mortz and made the interception at the 17-yard line. But Minnesota came right back with an interception. A crossing pattern. And this is Curtis, the tight end. And he beat Dave Strobel on the play, and he has a Minnesota first down. A little bit stronger arm than Iowa State's David Archer. Hohensee rolling, in trouble, and he's down. Tony Wankett, we were just talking about Wankett, and he makes the big sack there for a loss of about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Down in 14 for Mike Hohensee and company. And a flag will go down. Interference will be called on Ron Hawley. And there appears to be no doubt on this one, but we'll get a chance to take a look at it again. Ball at the 44-yard line. And they'll try it with Baylor. He'll get across the 45 to the 46. Mark Bort, fine senior out of Wisconsin. Co-captain. Second down and 8 now for Hohensee. He'll drop back again. Intercepted. Intercepted by James Erb, and he brings the football back to the 37-yard line. And Erb's just a little bit hot. The tackle was made by Randy Rasmussen, and Erb had a few words for Rasmussen after he got up. So the 37-yard line with 9:41 left to play here in the second quarter. Minnesota leads it 3-0. Ronnie Harmon in motion. Long. Swing pass to Phillips. And a flag goes down, and so does the ball carrier. Glenn Cardelli is the man who turned that play in. Glenn Cardelli with a great defensive play. If Phillips beats him, he's got a gain of about 10 or 15.
Let's see. It might have been more. They might have called him for a block or for a clip. Let's take a look. No, I think he might have tried to trip. Let's see.
No flag, no flag. And I think you can see it there on the replay. Mort went as if he were going to clip, and at the last possible moment, he did not clip. So there is no flag.
It's hard for me to envision how you can take a flag out of your pocket and drop it twice and say no penalty. What made you drop the flag? I don't think they're falling out of their pockets.
Second down and 10 now for Iowa. They've been moving the football well on the ground, but they'll go to the air again. Minnesota splits it. Long sets up the screen to Phillips. Phillips with some blockers ahead of him. And he'll gain about 5 or 6 yards. Forced out of bounds at the 32-yard line by Peter Nigerian. Nigerian tackle after a gain of 6. Third down and 4 now with 8:44 left to play before halftime. Minnesota trails it by 3. Pitch play goes to Phillips. And he's got the first down. Knifing his way inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Very well. This time it's Gill and Granger the setback. And the handoff will go to Gill. Kind of a little shotgun draw play. He'll gain about 5 or 6 yards. Nigerian, the first Gopher there to help him along.
Again, the Iowa offensive line opened the hole. It closed up real quick, but Gill, as big as he is, gained another 3 yards strictly on his own power.
Well, threatening again. The last time they moved the football down here, they had it intercepted. Second down and 5. Long, in trouble. Gets it out to Gill. He makes the reception inside the 20-yard line down to about the 17, very close to a first down. Terry Glenn making the stop. But Gill is very close to that first down marker.
The tight ends are coming in for the Hawks.
Joe Christopherson is the linebacker that continues to blitz from the near side. That time he almost got to Long. Double tight end set for Iowa. Third down, less than a yard to go. The handoff will go to Phillips. He has the first down. First and 10 Iowa, the ball at the 16-yard line. The Hawkeyes trail at 3-0. 6:23 left to play before halftime. I formation. The pitch to the near side. It's Phillips. Down to the 12. Terry Glenn, the first Minnesota Gopher there. Tremendous leg drive by Phillips. The junior out of 6 for Iowa. The ball inside the 12-yard line. Minnesota fakes the blitz. Long's going to keep it. He's inside the 10-yard line on the option down to the 7. Todd Peterson making the stop. Tremendous amount of faking ability by Chuck Long, the sophomore from Wheaton. And it's Phillips. He has the first down inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. It will be first and goal, Iowa at the 3. Eddie Phillips. Goal, Iowa. Triple tight end set. It's Granger up the middle for nothing. Joe Christopherson and lots of Gophers meet Granger head on. This is where the Iowa Hawkeyes have had some troubles. You remember the great goal line stand by Arizona where Iowa ended up coming away with the game-winning field goal. They fumble a double tight end set. Love Jordan in motion, and it's long. Iowa touchdown. And here's a look at it again, Scharm.
A great call. They bring Love Jordan in motion this way. The defense starts thinking a little bit as he comes toward the near side toward us, and yet Long going the other way with the option. Now there is a great call, I believe.
Penalty markers are down. Tommy Nichols' kick is no good. No eyes are clapping, so that is indeed the call. Offsides against Minnesota, and Tommy Nichols will get another opportunity a yard and a half closer.
Instead of talking about the extra point again, Nichols ought to be able to make 1 out of 2. I'm going to assume that. But on that last call, here we, just before that play, tried to decide, don't you think the Minnesota team was also trying to figure out what they were going to call, and the Hawks came with something a little bit different. Minnesota was not expecting the keeper, the fake, and so it was a great call by the Hawks and Long.
So the Hawkeyes get a touchdown on an option play from the quarterback Chuck Long. Tommy Nichols, who has been perfect in extra points, will have an opportunity to stay perfect. And this one is good. Nichols gets another opportunity, and Iowa now leads it by a score of 7-3. Reggie Roby will be kicking off, the senior out of Waterloo East High School in Waterloo, Iowa. Roby, whose first kick did not get out of the end zone, and you would imagine that it would with his powerful leg and the no wind conditions such as it is here in the Metrodome. Manny Henry and Kerry Glenn back deep for Minnesota. And here's Roby's kick. And this one will send Glenn back to the far end of the end zone, and he will not run it out. 10 Minnesota. Hohensee under pressure. Incomplete. Intended for McMullen. Larry Station on the coverage. Second down and 10 now for Minnesota. Hohensee again drops back. Dumps it over the middle to Alan Reed, and Larry Station has just got a great nose for the football. He is right there. A gain of 5 yards for Alan Reed. Very hard-hitting, as you would expect, Iowa versus Minnesota football contest. Hohensee in trouble. Dumps it off. Has Baylor, and he has the first down across the 30-yard line to the 31. An excellent reception there by Valdez Baylor. First and 10 now for Minnesota. Baylor was the only back out there, and McMullen will get a flag. A flag on the play. McMullen was the intended pass receiver. Ron Hawley is called after the pass interference penalty. First and 10 Minnesota. Hohensee dropping back again. Strobel and Force giving him pressure, and he fires out of bounds, incomplete. The pass intended for Derek Stern on the far sideline, and Stern caught it out of bounds. Stern split to the near side along with McMullen, and Reed from the fullback spot goes into the slot. Hohensee rolling to the right. Herb giving chase. Incomplete to Alan Reed. Third down and 10. Minnesota needs to get to the Iowa 37-yard line. 2:30 left. Hohensee has a little bit more time this time. McMullen. A Minnesota first down at the 28-yard line. And now under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Iowa second down and 5. Hohensee straight drop back. Pressured again. And he fumbles the football, but he falls right down on it. 3 wide receivers to the far side. 3rd and 11. 1:26 left to play before halftime. Here comes Larry Station. Hohensee gets away from him and dumps the pass off to Valdez Baylor. Now it's just a mad dash, and what a hit. What a hit by Keith Hunter. So Gallery into the football game again. A 45-yard attempt. He's 1 of 2. And this one is good. And Minnesota gets 3 points before halftime with 35 seconds left. The score, Iowa 7, Minnesota 6. 10 at their own 20-yard line. The Hawkeyes dominating the line of scrimmage in the first half, as the rushing statistics would show. 27 carries for 109 yards. Eddie Phillips had 17 carries for 86 of those yards. Chuck Long had the rushing touchdown.
You know, Bob, an interesting factor here is that even though there weren't that many total yards in the first half, each team only had to punt once. Roby for a 60 punted for 60 yards, and Gallery for 66.
So the ball does carry further off the foot, doesn't it? Chuck Long, first down pass to Dave Mortz, complete up along the 29-yard line. Gain of 9 yards of the play will set up a second down and 1 situation. Will set that Iowa back. Blanchard, by the way, is the son of the former Yankee great, Doc Blanchard. Eddie Phillips gets to the outside, and Phillips is wrestled out of bounds at the 41-yard line, and the Hawkeyes, I think, wanted a face mask call over there on the far sideline, but we did see the face masking call, so a 15-yard penalty marked off against the Gophers. It'll be 1st and 10 Iowa in Minnesota territory at the 44.5-yard line. Phillips goes into the slot. Granger, the lone setback with Long. Long will be tested, and he fires the ball, just gets rid of it. The pass intended for Dave Mortz, but kind of a intentional grounding, if you will, without position for the Gophers. Second down and 10. Shotgun formation. Inside handoff will go to Phillips. And it's Phillips to the 30. To the 20. Eddie Phillips refused to go down, carrying Kerry Glenn for about 12 yards inside the 20 at the 19. Spot of the foul, 5 yards. It will be second down and 12 now. Second and 12. Long sets up the screen to the near side. It's Granger across the 40, across the 35, across the 30. And finally knocked down at the 26-yard line. First down, Iowa. And Iowa fans making the trek to Minneapolis. I formation. Handoff to Phillips. He'll try the outside. Tripped up by Mike Lalaberti, number 35 out of Hibbing, Minnesota. Phillips will back to reach that century mark this season. And Phillips goes in motion. Long will throw to Granger out in the flat. Granger busting tackles. Up near the first down marker, he goes down at the 17-yard line. Him in the Hawkeye lineup. Love Jordan in motion now. Third down and 2. Option. Long will keep it. He has the first down at the 15-yard line.
The identical play that they scored on. They run.
Handoff to Phillips across the 10, across the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Rick Wittis is carried for about 5 or 6 yards as Phillips gives the Hawkeyes first and goal at the 2.
As the Hawks something go wrong, as such as happened last week against Michigan. That was a great fake to the fullback and then to Phillips right up the middle.
Triple tight end set. First and goal, Iowa. Granger back into the ball game. Phillips goes in motion. And it's Long. Quarterback sneak. And he's in. Iowa touchdown. Brogan's hold. And it's good. And Iowa leads now 14-6 over Minnesota. We'll be back with more from Minneapolis after this. And this is Kerry Glenn at his own 10-yard line. Across the 20, across the 30. Glenn still on his feet. And Mike Hook says, no more. First and 10 for Mike Hohensee and company. Hohensee rolling again as he did in the first half. Has Alan Reed. And they're stooped and stationed there on the tackle of Alan Reed. Let's set that Minnesota backfield again. Reed, the lone setback. Gain of 5. Second down and 5. And it's Reed, the fullback, into Iowa territory at the 45-yard line. Hawley and Station combined to make the tackle. But the lone setback. Reed goes into the slot left. Hohensee rolling. And has his man out there. That's Farrell. Lonnie Farrell. And the fumble after the play, and Farrell has it. 1st and 10, Minnesota. The handoff inside. It's Reed. And Reed has about 6 or 7 yards. And apparently, Minnesota has done some adjusting there. They apparently feel that Iowa is blitzing from the outside, coming in the slot to the right side. Baylor behind Hohensee. 2nd down and 4. And this is McMullen. And McMullen will get nowhere. Keith Hunter comes up and makes the stop. A gain of about 2 for Dwayne McMullen. An excellent defensive play by that man, Keith Hunter, the sophomore out of Newark, New Jersey. 3rd and 2 situation, confronts the Gophers. Hohensee with Wankett in pursuit. McMullen's out there, he drops the ball. McMullen with a sure touchdown. McMullen just dropped a sure touchdown. You won't find a more dejected man in the entire Gopher state. Coverage. McMullen just dropped it. And James Gallery, who was already 2 for 3 in the ball game, this time will attempt a 36-yarder. And it's good again. And Gallery, his 3rd field goal of the ball game, pulls the Gophers to within 5. The score, Iowa 14, Minnesota 9. It's Eddie Phillips on 1st and 10. Phillips breaking tackles, getting to the outside, across the 25, up to the 27-yard line. 9:15 and counting down here in the 3rd quarter as Iowa leads it by 5, 14-9. As fine a game from a tailback as you'll ever see from the University of Iowa. There have been some great ones, but Phillips is right up there with this effort. Phillips this time is brought down after a gain of about 2 by Carl Mecklenburg, the senior out of Edina, Minnesota. Gain of 2 for Phillips. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2, a short yardage situation for the Hawkeye. 3rd, and we'll call it a long yard for Iowa. Phillips goes in motion, and it's Chuck Long for the 1st down. Well, Hayden Fry has discovered a quarterback sneak in his offense. It's worked to perfection a couple of times. Chuck Long uses the sneak for the 1st down. Mecklenburg, Nigerian, put in a hold there on Long. Hilgenberg name very famous up here in Minnesota. Everybody remembers Wally Hilgenberg. Long still has the football. And Huffer just misses the reception. We have a flag down. And as we've said it many, many times, in a position where downfield was the call. And Iowa goes into a little bit of a shift that time, and the entire Gopher team came offside. Which way will the call go? It will go against Iowa. Setbacks behind Long. Phillips will go in motion. Long pumps. He's in trouble now. Gets away from pressure, and he'll go down at the 25-yard line. I believe that pass was set up as just a little slant pattern over the middle. Long didn't like what he saw, so he decided to run the football out. Good block there by Granger, getting in front of Long somehow. I don't know how he did it. A gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 16 situation.
Many times in this situation, Iowa will try that little screen pass. We'll take a look. Watch the offensive linemen. See where they go now as we're looking. See if they stand up and then go to one side or the other.
Long. Rolling. Looking. Firing to Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon's got it. In Minnesota territory at the 46-yard line, and a flag goes down after the play. Back in the Iowa backfield. I think Chuck Long crossed the line of scrimmage before he threw the football. Yes, indeed, that is the call. That penalty carries with it a loss of down, so a 4th down punting situation for Reggie Roby. A 60-yarder last time. This one a very high punt. Fielded back there by Henderson at the 35-yard line. 6:17 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Hohensee will throw the ball. McMullen, no siree. Bobby Stoops made sure. McMullen got a hand on it, and then Stoops just pummeled McMullen as he reached for it the second. Hohensee unofficially 16 of 24 for 166 yards. He'll pass again. He'll pump fake again. He's going for it all with McMullen. No, sir. Nate Creer and Bobby Stoops on the coverage. That's the pass play that Dwayne Gunn, along with Babe Loffenberg, burned the Hawkeyes with at Indiana. As long as Minnesota is behind in this ball game, it's going to take a long time to complete this ball game. It's already been a long third quarter, and there's 6 minutes and 6 seconds left. Both teams have scored here in the third period. Iowa touchdown, Minnesota field goal, and Iowa's coming. And Hohensee just gets the ball away. And there goes the flag. Now, it's my understanding of the penalty there that the ball has to be a catchable football, and that ball was not a catchable football.
And not only that, but I think Zane Corbin went up in the air. Was that Corbin? No, it was 29. It was Creer, wasn't it? We'll take a look again and to see, but it looked as though he went straight up in the air, and it was way overthrown. Minnesota's gotten a couple of breaks on some interference calls here.
That ball was not a catchable football, and Creer was going up in the air. Don't like to editorialize on that one, but I don't believe it was a good call. 1st and 10, Minnesota. The ball in Iowa territory at the 46-yard line. It is Reed with that same play they've used very effectively here in the third period. He'll gain about 8 yards. Into the slot. Baylor behind Hohensee. Hohensee rolling to the near side. He's in trouble somehow. He keeps the ball inbounds. Look at this pass to Reed. And Reed has it inside the 10-yard line at the 6. James Erb, a touchdown-saving tackle. What athletic ability by Mike Hohensee. 1st and goal. And Hohensee fumbles the football. And he shows that great athletic ability again. He gets on top of his own fumble back at the 14-yard line just before Mark Ford and Dave Strobel have an opportunity to pop onto that football.
You don't know how hard it is to pick up a loose football like that. People may say, why can't you pick up a fumble? Why is it so hard to do? That ball hits, and it hits just a little bit of an angle. Hohensee has picked up his ball, I believe, 3 times that he's fumbled. He hasn't lost it yet.
So 2nd and goal, the ball at the 14-yard line. Strong side is the far side. Hohensee will roll to that side. Tony Wankett in pursuit. He flips it out there. Hunter, interception. Keith Hunter played center field about as well as you're going to play it. He stood right in front of the intended receiver, Lonnie Farrow, and made that interception. This one may be just a little bit bigger because the Gophers were definitely driving, and it's Eddie Phillips on the ground. Gaining about 3 up to the 23-yard line. Defensive back instead of wide receiver on that play, and he couldn't knock it down. 2nd down and 7. Here's that screen play. Almost intercepted twice. Almost intercepted twice. The first Gopher was Ivan Zuber. Field, Granger, and Phillips. And Phillips will go in motion. Long will drop back. Lots and lots and lots of time. And it's completed to Phillips. Iowa 1st down. 1st and 10 Hawkeyes. 2:31 and counting down in the third period. Iowa leads it by 5, 14-9. They fake the handoff. Phillips has it on the swing pass. Can he get outside? No, sirree. Phil Sutton, a junior out of Los Angeles, California, a JC transfer, makes the fine hit on Eddie Phillips on the screen pass. Rosedale. Iowa gets Minnesota. The Hawkeyes leading it by 5, 14-9. Long will run it. And Long, retreating backwards, is tackled by Phil Sutton. Long at one time had crossed the 40-yard line. He's finally tackled back at the 38. That's the play here in this third period. 3rd and 6. Big play both sides. Minnesota is blitzing. Long picks it up. Love Jordan's out there. Love Jordan is wrestling with Phil Sutton, and he couldn't get to the football. Long goes down. Reggie Roby, Hayden Fry on the sidelines. You've got to go deep on that play. You can't joust around with a defensive back. And Roby has one go off the side of his foot. It goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. A 28-yard punt by Roby. It's been a long third quarter because Minnesota's been putting the ball up in the air, and they'll do it again. Looking deep. Intercepted by Nate Creer at the 30-yard line. Nate Creer took that ball away from Derek Stern. Stern had a hand in Creer's back. No flags went down, but an interception was made nevertheless. And the Hawkeye band is a-dancing. They just got an interception from Nate Creer. They'll keep it on the ground. Probably the final play of the third period. Eddie Phillips, a gain of about 4, up near the 35-yard line. Eddie Phillips, the ball carrier, well over the 100-yard marker in this ball game. He has been a workhorse.
The Iowa defensive secondary probably has more speed than it has had in the last 4 or 5 years. And actually, they're coming along. It's a young defensive second. A 5-point lead are not going to be able to protect that, I believe. I still say that 14 points isn't enough to win this ball game.
Phillips on the draw play. He has the first down. Still on his feet in Minnesota territory at the 46-yard line. John Wood making the tackle on Phillips after a tremendous game.
Of course, the speed.
146 yards for Eddie Phillips. Here's his backup, Owen Gill. He gets to the outside, a couple of nifty moves, and finally wrestled down by a horde of maroon shirts at the 35-yard line. They play on a surface here called Super Turf. They say it has a tremendous amount of resiliency. Hard to say whether that has anything to do with the injuries that Minnesota has been suffering or whether it's the hard hitting of the opponent. 1st and 10, Iowa. The handoff. No, Long will keep the football. Long trying to get a block from Owen Gill. And he turns it upfield at about the 30-yard line. Long with a tremendous fake to Granger. Played it out like he didn't have the football and then had it. He could have still gone to his tail. Guys lead it by 5, trying to put more points on the scoreboard. Norm Granger fighting for yardage. He never is wrestled down to the turf. Several Gophers meet him. A gain of about 4 on the play. Mark the football. 3rd and 2, Iowa. Love Jordan in motion. The pitch will go to Owen Gill. He'll turn the corner. He's got the first down. Owen Gill. Very high, giving a little bit of a clap right there. Mike Lullaby counting down in the 4th period. 1st and 10, Iowa. The draw play. Eddie Phillips across the 20, across the 15. Craig White met Phillips head on, but Phillips picked up another Iowa first down. Remember since the Michigan State game last year when Phil Blacher had the great game. Eddie Phillips, Iowa touchdown. The old Statue of Liberty play. And it's Eddie Phillips coming back around for the touchdown.
Let's give Lauren Gerleman a tremendous amount of credit. The whole offensive line and back blocked very, very well for the Hawks. But watch the block by Gerleman here, right? Let's see if we can see it now. Number 72 really puts a block. Let's see. You're just going to see. No, I don't. You're not able to see it, but Gerleman really sprung. Great block by Gerleman. And a great call by the Hawks.
Also there with a great block down by the goal line. So Tommy Nickel will be in to try the extra point as you take a look at Eddie Phillips on the sideline. And Nickel's attempt is perfect again. And it's Iowa by 12 now. Iowa 21, Minnesota 9, 12-22 still left. They're dominating the line of scrimmage, and the Gophers are going down with lots of injuries. Look at that hit. Keith Hunter. Keith Hunter with a tremendous hit on Kerry Glenn. And that's another Minnesota player slow to get up. It's Glenn. 1st and 10, Minnesota. They trail it by 12. A tough job ahead for Mike Hohensee. And they'll run it on first down. Alan Reed brought down by Larry Station after a gain of 4. It'll be a 2nd and 6 situation at the 22-yard line. Hohensee rolling. under tremendous pressure. And he's got Farrell. Lonnie Farrell with the Minnesota first down at the 36-yard line. First and 10, Minnesota. And the handoff to the fullback. Bobby Stroop, who
they're not going to let them get behind.
After a gain of 5, second and 5, Hohensee rolls, fires, incomplete. Creer almost had himself his second Minnesota, 3rd and 5. Hohensee rolls. Intercepted by Ron Hawley. Ron Hawley has the interception for Iowa at the 37-yard line. A dead ball foul, 15 yards after the interception. So mark the ball in Minnesota territory at the 48. Long will keep it on the option. Turn it inside. Gain about 3 on the play. Pete Najarian is there to make the tackle on Long. A gain of 3 will set up a 2nd down and 7.
Oh, that you look to see that happen.
9:50 is your time. Little flare pass to Phillips. That's one play that we haven't seen before. Phillips will gain about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Ends the line of scrimmage. Here's that end around again. Phillips up close to the first down. This time he couldn't get outside. Pete Najarian is there to make the tackle for Minnesota. I think I called the game. It didn't make it, and Minnesota came down and got a field goal. 4th and 1. Power I, Long, quarterback sneak. First down. We commented early in the ball game that Iowa was really testing the interior of that Minnesota. 8 minutes to go now. Phillips on the sweep to the near side. Out of the eye. It's Phillips. He's caught in the backfield by Mecklenburg. Phillips will gain just 1 on the play.
Minnesota fans hope they would be.
And the handoff goes to Phillips. Trying to get to the outside. Phillips very close to the first down as he crosses the 30 down to the 27. He'll be shy by about a yard. So here it is, 4th and 2, and the Hawkeyes will go for it. They stay away from the field goal. And Long kept it. Long kept the football. Phillips had the first down if he hands off to him, but Long kept it on the option. Does not pick up the first down. So Minnesota with a fine defensive stand. 7 seconds left, trailing by 12, 21-9. Hohensee limping back. And he fumbles the ball, and Iowa has it. Mike Hook stripped it. Clay Uhlenhake has the fumble recovery back at the 21-yard line. First and 10. Phillips, the ball carrier. Wrestled down by Peterson after a gain of maybe 1, maybe 2 yards.
Minnesota has not given up. They're still trying to hit hard. Their ranks have just been decimated. That's all there is to it. The bigger, powerful Iowa line is opening up holes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Iowa open up a hole and have them go all the way.
The Hawkeye rooters say they're number 1. And they've looked definitely like the number 1 team here in the Metrodome here tonight. 2nd down and 8. Long. Rolling. Has Hufford open. And he tries to flip it up to him and has it intercepted. Intercepted. Flags go down. Andre Gilbert makes the interception in front of Hufford. Hufford was wide open. Long just took a little bit too long before he delivered the football. 1st and 10. Hohensee fading back at his own 1-yard line. Has Curtis out of bounds at the 25. Mike Curtis, the 6th. With 5:02 left, it's 1st and 10. Minnesota, 77 yards away from the end zone. They trail up by 12. Hohensee under pressure again. Hooks is chasing him. Has McMullen, and McMullen goes down at the 37-yard line. Another first down for the Gophers again. It's Hohensee fading deep. He's got Curtis. Curtis up near the first down marker. He's knocked down inbound, so the clock will not stop. 4:35 left. He's a yard shy of the first down. 4:25 left to play in the ball game. Minnesota, desperation time, trailing by 12. They have all of their timeouts remaining. Complete. Hohensee fires it out of bounds, intended for Curtis. Hohensee can't. Straight drop back again. Dump it out to Baylor. And Baylor has the first down. Inside the 35 to the 34. Mike Hook finally making the tackle a couple of weeks ago when Iowa pulled that one out, literally on the last play of the game. Hohensee has McMullen. And Creer had an opportunity. 2nd and 10 now. 3:36 left. Iowa is blitzing. Everybody's coming. Hohensee spins. He's not getting away from the pair of linebackers stationed in Irv. A loss of 1 on the play. Is this guy an athlete or what? He should have been stacked back for about a 10-yard loss. Got up near the line of scrimmage and is stationed in time. Dump it off to Baylor again. He has the Minnesota first down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Ron Hawley is there to make the tackle on Valdez Baylor. Minnesota with all of its timeouts remaining. 1st and 10. Hohensee has Farrell at the 1-yard line. A strike from Hohensee to Lonnie Farrell. And it's 1st and goal, Minnesota at the 1-yard line.
Notice how Lonnie Farrell protects the
running again. Hohensee, apparently a mix-up in the play. Hohensee got that snap before he wanted it. And he'll go down for a loss of 1. 2:24 left. But Minnesota had to exhaust one of their precious timeouts. Long count. Reed. Can he get in? Touchdown. Touchdown. The fumble came after the touchdown. So Minnesota has pulled it within 6. And make it 5 now. They're coming to the far side. And the ball goes out of bounds. Penalty markers fly. The ball goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. The handoff will go to Phillips. Straight ahead. Gain of 5 on the play.
A first down would just about ice it for the Hawks.
Phillips again. Similar play. This one he'll gain just a yard on. And Minnesota calls a timeout immediately. 1:38 left. 21-16. Hawkeyes leading the Gophers. Will the Bronze Pig come to Iowa? It's been up here for a long time. 3rd and 4. Big play. Mort in motion. Iowa, I formation. Straight ahead handoff. Phillips. He does not have it. He'll be a yard shy. And Minnesota will use its last timeout. 1:30 left. 4th and 1. Reggie Roby back in punt formation at his own 35. Remember, he's had a punt block in each of the last 2 ball games. 10-man front for the Gophers. Low snap. He just gets it away. And the ball will go out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Roby feigned as if he was run into. No flag went down. And the ball goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line. So a 40-yard punt, unofficially by Roby. So here we go, 1 minute, 22 seconds. Minnesota on offense again. They trail it by 5. Hohensee looking. 1:17 left. 1:17 left. Second down and 10. Hohensee jumps it off to Reed. And Reed has it at the 19-yard marker. We thought they were out. And Hohensee falls down. Hohensee falls down. The clock will continue to roll. 41 seconds. And if they had a timeout, they certainly would have used it. The official scoreboard is obviously wrong, and we are correct. 30 seconds and counting down. Fourth down. Hohensee is sacked, and Iowa will win it. Floyd over. And the Bronze Pig will go to the Hawkeyes as Chuck Long just eats the football. And that'll be it. The clock is just going to count down. And the Hawkeyes have the victory.